Hey guys, what's up? This is Morgan from MorganLett Insights and welcome back to the channel. Also, happy Cancer season. That's what this video is all about. So if you are a Cancer sun, happy birthday, happy solar return. This season is all about your rebirth, your reawakening. If you're a Cancer sun and you are not a Cancer rising, this is going to be a little bit different for you. So make sure that you are focusing on your rising and what house your sun falls in. But if you are Cancer rising, this is a very prominent time for you in terms of transformation energy as your rising returns back to the same degree where it was when you were born. As an astrologer, I tend to do my readings based off the rising return because the rising return for me gives more information about your overall nature and where you are in terms of your progressed chart. So that's just a little astrology 101, and we're gonna get started with the video. So if you are not familiar, Cancer season officially started on June 20th, the same day as the summer solstice. Also, it doubled, just depending on where you live, as the same day as the Cancer new moon and the Cancer solar eclipse. So right now, at the beginning of Cancer season, there is a lot of Cancerian energy bringing us forward, especially with Mercury newly retrograde in the sign of Cancer. So for Cancer suns, for Libras, and for all my cardinal signs, so Cancer, Libra, Aries, and Capricorn, this is some intense transformation energy for you. You're moving through a lot of changes, but these changes are really going to place you in the highest potential, the highest path possible. So that's just a little tidbit for my cardinal signs. But overall, this Cancer season is heavy. It's heavy, y'all, because we have a lot of outer planets in, not only are they retrograde, which is typical for the summer and winter months, just depending on where you live, but because they are in Cancer's opposite sign this year of Capricorn. So Jupiter is finishing up its transit this year in Capricorn. Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for a couple, it's gonna be there for a minute, but Saturn is actually moving backwards into the sign of Capricorn for its last time before it completely moves into Aquarius in December. So on July 1st, we are going to see Saturn return for the final time, for this decade until it is in Capricorn. So if you start to sense some of those same themes and patterns that are like, whoa, I thought I handled that already, I guarantee you it's Saturn. And Saturn is coming back in for this last sweep. Like, nope, you thought you had it together, but let's just make sure, let's do a sweep up check. So because there is so much energy and I'm just playing with different formats, I am going to walk you through Cancer season. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some very short overall messages for each individual zodiac sign. And if you want the full Cancer reading for each zodiac sign, you have to become a member. So I will give you a little tidbit, but you've got to anyways. So let's get started with the dates. So the first major date aspect I want to point out to you guys is June 28th, which is the first quarter moon in Libra, where the sun and the moon in Libra are going to square one another. So this is going to really bring illumination to our relationships, to our self-care. This is a very nurturing first quarter moon. Anytime we have a first quarter moon, especially in Cancer season, it's all about restoring our balance, restoring the balance between self and the other. And because we're focusing so much on Cancer season, which is the fourth house, which rules the home and family and our inner sanctuary, a lot of us are going to be pulling back. This is vacation season, and so we like to vacation in June and July because of Cancer season and because of Leo season, and it's really inviting us to really reconnect, to relax, to let loose, to have some fun. And right now, with the COVID-19 pandemic still circulating around us, this is going to be a little bit difficult with this Cancer season, is finding ways to relax, to rejuvenate, to retreat, because we are still having to practice social distancing. But the first quarter moon on June 28th is going to be the first point in Cancer season where you're seeing where you're giving out too much. You're overgiving, you're overstressing yourself, you're overextending yourself, you're overworking, and you really need to, that first quarter moon in Libra on June 28th is really going to pull it inward and really ask you to say, hey, where do you need to bring more balance and restoration to your day-to-day, and especially to your one-on-one interactions with your family and your loved ones and your friendships. Those are really going to be magnified and illuminated. How you express vulnerability to those people that you love is going to be coming up on June 28th for that first quarter moon in Libra. On June 30th, that's a big day, guys, we've got the Pluto and Neptune conjunction. We've got the Sun and Cancer squaring off with Chiron and Aries, and it's also the same day that the Sun and Mercury retrograde conjunct in Cancer. So starting with the Sun in Cancer. So the Sun in Cancer and Chiron. So on June 30th, the Sun in Cancer is going to square Chiron in Aries, which is going to bring up wounds. Any inner family healing, any family trauma, any differences in the family based on opinions and beliefs are going to be aired out on June 30th. That's the talking point. That's when you guys are ready to sit down and talk it out. And the only reason why I know you're going to sit down and you're going to talk it out around that date, it's because Mercury retrograde is conjunct the Sun. And so now, after we've had like a week, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks in Mercury retrograde, we are ready to start to talk about some of those inner feelings that we've been processing. And with the Sun square Chiron on the same day, and with the Sun and Jupiter, did I say the Sun and Neptune? Jupiter, it's Pluto and Jupiter that have their conjunction. What am I talking about? Anyways, so on that day, there is a lot of past life healing, past life regression work. So themes and patterns that you may have been experiencing in the past are going to really allow you to have those conversations. If you're someone who is ready to move, or you're ready to turn over a new leaf in terms of like signing your name on something, that's probably the best day out of Mercury retrograde to sign something, just because you're moving towards that conjunction. But just be mindful that there's a lot of impulsive energies there as well. So if you are making a final decision, you just need to make sure that you are making the right decision for you. You don't need to be making decisions based on any other belief but your own on that date. So just be mindful. June 30th is a huge day for the entire cosmos, just not Cancer season. There's just a lot going on. And then on July 1st, again, Saturn is sliding back, but there's also a major aspect regarding the Sun in Cancer on that day as well. So June 30th is just overall a huge day. So mark that one down on your calendar too. July 1st is a great day because the Sun in Cancer is going to sextile Uranus in Taurus. And so this is a great time where I was saying, if you sign those agreements, if you don't know for sure on June 30th, you could always wait until July 1st. But just remember, Saturn is moving back in its retrograde station into Capricorn. So there's a lot of feeling like we are regressing, but this is because we might have made some forward movements in terms of our overall long-term goals and our long-term achievements and our overall wealth and our prosperity. But this aspect is really showing you that you are supported, and that even though you might feel like you're having to go rework something, this is actually sending you in the right direction. So this is also a great time with Cancer and Taurus to really bring stability and sustainability to your home environment and your relationships. And so if you're wanting to purchase something new for the home, or upgrade the home, or maybe look into some new transportation, now that Venus will be out of its retrograde station in Gemini, that would be a really good day to make some sort of long-term or short-term investment that really does boost up your overall sense of well-being and your sense of comfort. So a lot of people who may have been signing their leases on June 30th actually might be moving into their apartment or moving to their new home on July 1st. So that's just something that you want to write on your calendar. On July 5th, that is the Capricorn full moon and lunar eclipse. And so again, we are ending this Cancer and Capricorn cycle. Yes. My Libra sun and rising is over it. But on the July 5th, the sun is going to be opposing the moon in Capricorn. And so that is the day where we're going to start to see the shift from the public and the private, and how those two are having to almost like infiltrate each other and find balance. So your goals, your long-term goals, your financial goals, your business goals, the I can do it goals are going to meet some sort of friction or some sort of manifestation with your family environment. And so if you've been struggling trying to find ways to integrate the two, this full moon is going to feel like it's creating more chaos. But in the long run, you're going to see that this lunar eclipse is really giving you the strength and the endurance and the encouragement and the faith, really, and the endurance to stick it out. A lot of the changes and the transitions that we're seeing in Cancer season for 2020 really need time to play out, because we're dealing with those physical numbers of 4 and 10 when we're talking about Cancer and Capricorn. Those are building numbers, and so it's still in this process of building, and a lot of us are starting to see the manifestation, but the liberation and the authenticity of it, the publishing, like the platform, the exposure, is going to come over the next couple of years as we start to see the Gemini and the Sagittarius eclipses play out and do their thing. So just be patient with this ending, because something will manifest on July 5th. You will start to feel this sense of breakthrough, but at the same time, that is the beginning of a lot of oppositions with the sun in Cancer. So just prepare. July 5th is a turning point, and depending on where Capricorn falls in your chart is really going to really show you where this switch is going to affect you the most. So make sure that you have your chart. I always recommend like watching the video with your chart. Or if you like me, you know about heart. A lot of y'all know about heart, which is really cool. I commend you guys for that. On July 12th, the sun is going to trine Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so this is some good water vibes, y'all. And it's so beautiful because, one, the universe always knows what we need when we need it. And this is like such like chill vibes right before we run into all these oppositions with Jupiter, Pluto, and then Saturn, which is friction. So make sure that you are soaking in all of the vibes on July 11th and 12th, as the sun in Cancer trines Neptune in Pisces. They really encourage you to meditate. This is a great time to just take like a day trip, or to get out in nature, to be near water, to do water rituals, to do water baths, to turn your phone off, like to just really manifest in your body and to connect with your higher self and your higher being and the divinity within us all. That is what this energy on July 12th is bringing. It's bringing good vibes, okay? On July 14th, the sun is going to be opposing Jupiter in Capricorn. And so an opportunity, something that like you're gonna have to deal with some type of legalities. You might be fighting with your landlord about something, or some sort of authority figure is going to feel like they are fighting against your internal desires or disrupting your inner peace. But what you need to know is you are expanding. You need to deal with any small details that are going to come back and bite you in the butt once Jupiter moves into Aquarius. And that's what this is all about, is reminding you that sometimes you have to start small to grow big. And a lot of us, this sun in Cancer and Jupiter opposition is just showing us again where we're just overextending, we're overreaching, we're doing too much, when we just really need to focus our efforts on doing small, simple things that will build in the short term to bring us to those long-term goals and achievements that we're all seeking. So just be patient with yourself. On July 15th, the sun in Cancer is going to oppose Pluto in Capricorn, which is going to bring up endings. So an opportunity, a business deal, a business negotiation, a partnership, a financial agreement, something that you kind of had your bets on is just ending. And this is going to feel like right after that Jupiter and Sun opposition, it's going to feel like really now this, but you really just need to know that this is a point of like transformation. Anytime we're dealing with Pluto And the sun, it's really bringing illumination to some of our subconscious desires. And so this, what you feel like you were overreaching for, what you felt like you needed or what you deserved or what was the best opportunity ever, actually wasn't. And even if it was, maybe it was at that time, but it's not anymore. And so Pluto only comes in and creates massive change when we're ready to change. It doesn't mean that you want to change. It means you're ready to change. And it's not about your timing. It's about the divine timing. And so this divine timing with Pluto is showing you like, hey, that's it. It's over. You had enough. It's ran its course. Let's move on to the next thing. And so you just need to be mindful of that when July 14th and 15th comes around, and soak in all of the July 12th vibes with Neptune retrograde and Pisces trining the sun in Cancer. So the last date is July 20th, and on July 20th, the sun in Cancer is going to oppose Saturn retrograde in Capricorn. So this is the very end of Cancer season, and so for a lot of us, again, this is completion. You've probably already seen this square before last year. So just be mindful that this, whatever is ending at the end of Capricorn season, might feel like a jab, but it's not. This is a release. This is a period where the Saturn is showing us, again, what responsibilities, what lessons we still need to learn. There's a final lesson to this. And so for a lot of us, it's going to be about responsibility. If you're a parent, this is a wake-up call about what parenting means and about how we can use our roles as parents to create enlightenment for this new generation and to really embody what I would call like understanding, like really learning how to understand someone from a emotional level and how to handle that situation in a way that's practical. And so a lot of us are just learning how to deal with people with this Saturn and Cancer opposition with the sun. It's all about learning how to deal with people and how to take those lessons and apply them to your own life so that you can be more responsible. You can be a more responsible caregiver. You can be a more responsible listener. You can be a more responsible in terms of how you nurture and treat yourself, in terms of how you connect and evolve with your parents and your family. This is just a lesson of responsibility and taking accountability for our part in the collective and in our past life karma and transcending that. Like, this is such a period of transcendence for Cancer season. We're really moving past a lot of long-term blockages that we've seen, and with so much emphasis being in Capricorn, we might see a lot of these changes in how the public, our emotional response to what's going on in our political spheres and our economic spheres and very deeply in our environmental spheres. We really need to pay attention to how we're treating the earth, because that is going to come out when Jupiter moves into Aquarius and Saturn moves into Aquarius for good in December. And one last thing, guys, Mars is going to be in Aries until next year. And Mars moves into Aries on June, I can't remember, I think it's June 27th or June 28th. It's one of them. I don't have it written down. So I'll put it in the whatever. It's either June 27th or June 28th, y'all. But Mars is going to be here. So even though Mars is not going to come into a direct square with the sun in Cancer, Mars will still create some sort of semi-square, or there's some sort of inconjunct. There's some sort of aspect. I can't think of, I don't know, I would have to look at the chart on which day to see what minor aspect would occur, but there's going to be some sort of friction between the sun and Mars, even if it's not direct. I guarantee you their orbits are probably just spread apart. But so pay attention to your internal desires and making sure that even though you might be ready to rumble, that you are becoming off as a gentle spirit who is motivated and passionate and not as a tyrant or an egotistical narcissist, okay? Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is important. Everyone is special. We know that. We want to support you, but just don't be an asshole about it, because Mars and Aries is a lot of asshole energy, and we don't want that because you'll get blocked. So just be mindful of that. guys. So those are all my dates that I have for you guys. And now if I don't fall out my chair, now I'm going to briefly talk to you guys about each individual sign. So Aries, you just need to be mindful about your internal desires. You need to stay focused on what you're building, on what you can create, and on your family circle in terms of your business goals, your business aspects, making sure that you're asking for help, making sure that you're being helpful, and making sure that you're listening to the opinions of your children, the opinions of the little people in or around your world, and just be mindful of the type of energies that you're bringing into your home. Because a lot of the problems with Aries, I'm feeling, is that either you're working from home or you're having to bring your work home. And that's where a lot of your conflict or your stress or your chaos is. And finding ways to really integrate and balance and create safe boundaries is going to give you a lot of peace. Taurus, you just need to be mindful again on how you're expressing, being more vulnerable, being more open, being more being more logical about, how you move through the world. You might have to take more care of like a sibling or something like that, or you might be actually moving away from those responsibilities or wanting to move away from those responsibilities. But at the end of July, I feel like whatever it is that you were trying to really move away from, like, it's kind of going to suck you back in. So you're going to have to really be strong about these new boundaries and about the space and how you want to move through the world. Maybe you need to get your own car, maybe you need to get your own place, but there's some sort of independence and separation that you need to feel more grounded. And that's going to be the focus for you in June and July with Cancer season. Gemini, you again need to focus on your money. I feel like there's so many different aspects in this world right now that are confusing you, where your main priority, your main issue is that you don't feel stable. And even if it's not financial stability, there's some sort of something that somebody has over you that you feel like takes away your power. And instead of you submitting to this energy, whether it's a person, place, or thing, you need to really reclaim that power and bring that power back into yourself. And by you setting up strong boundaries and making sure that your financial security and your emotional security is stable, then you won't need anyone else to validate you. And so those energies will naturally be cut. Those ties, those attachments, those constraints, those handcuffs that you feel are on you will naturally be eliminated once you create that inner security within yourself. Cancer, this is your rebirth, this is your birthday, this is your rising return. So you just need to again focus on your energy. What is it that you want to create? What is the trajectory? What is the path that you need to be on right now? What is spirit telling you? And just paying attention to that, pouring into yourself, making sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are aligned with your long-term vision. You don't need to just be around somebody to be around somebody. You need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right energies, because with a lot of Capricorn oppositions coming your way in July, you need to be strong and centered in your values and your self-worth. Otherwise, you're going to keep sucked into these patterns that you don't even need to be involved in anymore. Like, you just need to X that out. Leo, be okay, take a deep breath, be understanding, be gentle, be more affectionate, let people know when you're hurting, let people know when you want to be left alone, but just do it in a way that is inviting rather than dismissive, because a lot of the same people that you might dismiss right now, you actually might need those connections later. So don't burn any bridges, especially in your work environment. I'm gonna say this again, do not burn any bridges in your work environment. I feel like this people that you're working with now that you're actually ready to move away from are going to be your allies in the next couple of months, especially when Capricorn season comes around and you need a resume or you need a portfolio or you want to pull some of the work that you did with these people or your partners or whoever. Don't lose sight of how your past has shaped where you are now. Don't feel yourself, don't smell yourself, don't think you're too good, because you can get dragged back to that same position in a heartbeat. So not to say that you're not worthy of where you're going, you just need to be mindful that you do not burn any bridges in July. Please, Leo, do not burn any bridges in July. I'm going to say that one more time. Do not burn any bridges in July, especially with your work environment. Don't do it. Virgo, you are in this position where you are so ready to interact and to engage, and you just have so much love to give. But again, you need to make sure that you're exhibiting your energies in a way that are in your highest favor. You just need to make sure that you're not giving your time and your space to the wrong people. This is a great time for you to get involved with the greater world. Stop focusing so much on your relationships. Stop focusing on so much on emotional well-being, and start to take some of that emotional water that you have that you don't really show and give it to people who actually want it. And it doesn't always have to be in a romantic sense. Like, I feel like a lot of times if you are thinking about romance, you're probably involved with someone who, this is for Virgo risings or people who strongly deal with your Virgo placements. This is about Aquarius. Like, you might be dealing, it's funny because I know someone who's dealing with Aquarius and they're Virgo, but it's all about making sure that you are not evolving yourself around emotionally detached people. You need to make sure that you're giving your service and your time and your love and affection to an organization or a group or an experience that is truly deserving of that. Okay, you know what you're capable of, and you need to make sure that you're putting your energies in the right spaces. Libra, hi baby. You need to focus on your career, my love. Like, this is all about making sure that your long-term goals are stable. It's all about making sure that you're taking that water that you feel that, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do, and use it. It's raw energy. Libras have raw energy right now, and you just need to shape it. If you don't shape it, you're going to be feeling so pissed off when Capricorn season comes around and you are still in the same environment. You don't have to be in the same environment, Libra. If you take, like, this is anytime you were dealing with like your public houses, like especially the 10th house, this is strong energy to reshape everything. And that's where you are right now, and you just need to take it, mold it, and prepare it, because what you're building right now is going to blow through the water at the end of the year if you just stay strong, Libra. Stay focused. Scorpio, if you haven't watched the Mercury retrograde for water signs reading, you need to watch that, because a lot of what I want to say to you I already said. So for you, I think a lot of your focus right now needs to be on re-educating yourself. I think you're in a position where you don't really know where to go in terms of your area of study or your area of interest, and this is a great time for you to expand it. And for those Scorpios who feel like, nah, I know my stuff, I know where I'm at, I'm an expert in it, this is your time to share it, to publish it, to become an authority in your career or your industry or your life, in your home, really establishing yourself as an expert, or surrounding yourself with people who can feed you. So having a mentor, having a strong feminine energy, even if it's a man, you know, but having someone who can water your wisdom, your knowledge, what you already have cultivated. Just need somebody to sprinkle a little water on it. And I feel like it's going to be multiple people. You're going to be involving yourself with multiple entities to really create this cohesive brand for yourself. And that's just what I'm feeling for Scorpio. Sagittarius, this is a process for you to be sincere about what you want. I said the same thing in the Mercury retrograde reading, so watch it. But you need to be honest about where you are in your evolution, and what that requires in this moment. Making sure that you are taking stock. This is a period for you to take inventory. You need to shut your store, store shutting down, close the store, okay? And you need to focus on, okay, what resources do I already have, and how can I rebuild before you even go out into the world and try to create this new thing. When Leo season hits, this is your period to kind of like reorganize, get redirected, and then take it from there, because it's going to be monumental if you take inventory of what you already have, because a lot of you feel like you're lacking in some area when you actually have a lot of resources available to you. You might just not see them, or you might not be using them or allocating them in the best way. So that's for you, Sagittarius. Capricorn, this is all about love, my babies. You guys are in this like nurturing stage. It's cute, but you're like really learning how to open up and be more vulnerable, and to be more soft, and to be more gentle. Like, even if you are even if you are a man or a woman or a they, however you choose to identify, this is the process of just opening and flourishing and softening is what I'm feeling for Capricorns. All of that hard energy you have, we're seeing through your earth, baby. We see you. But this is also challenging because this is your opposite sign. And so you are at odds. And so there are going to be relationship changes that you need to make. But I feel like Capricorn, you're in such a great space right now, mentally and emotionally, that you can take it. Capricorn's energy feels really strong and really grounded. And so if you need support, what I'm feeling is a lot of you might need to lean on your partner more. You might need to say, hey, baby, can you help me with this? Or if you're not coupled, maybe you need to reconnect with those friends who make you feel safe and secure. But really focusing on your one-on-one relationships, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your mother could be really influenced right now. And if you have children, this is a really great time to get to know them better. And just really be soft, Capricorn. That's what this is asking you to do, is to be soft. Aquarius, hi, baby. You have had a rough 2 years with Saturn and now Jupiter just beating up your 12th house. But this is a period where like you can take a lot of those, what you would call setbacks, and get to a position where you're ready to work. You're ready to rebuild your inner foundation, like your daily routines and how you show up in your workplace and how you show up at home, and really what keeps you grounded, what keeps you secure, what keeps you being able to move forward. Just nurturing your habits, making sure that your habits are in your highest favor, you know, not eating unhealthy, you know, just cleaning up your life. Like you don't even have to do a lot, Aquarius. Like you really don't. It's not the year, it's not the time for you to do a lot. Like I just said I can't remember what reading it was, but y'all just need to chill for a little bit, because you're just like, it's just not your time yet. So instead of you just trying to do the most, just clean it up. You know, just brush up what you're already. You don't need to do nothing new, okay? You don't need to add nothing, delete nothing. You might need to delete a couple things, especially if you have unhealthy habits. But I don't even feel like that. I feel like Aquarius are really trying to get in tip-top shape. So making sure that you're just installing and just re-establishing those patterns that you've already created, and if anything, just being more consistent. Because the undertone for you is Virgo energy. So you just need to be more consistent. But the only thing about this is that you're in your head a lot. And so, and because it's a water sign, you don't really like to talk about it. So a lot of Aquariuses who are just really chatty are going to get really so if you're dealing with an Aquarius, leave them alone, okay? This is not a sign to bother them. They are trying to figure some stuff out right now. They are figuring it out. I have Aquarius moon, and I'm like, do not disturb. But Pisces, this is fun for you. Like you are playing with creativity. You're playing with water. This is a great time to take a trip to the beach or to the lake. Just wear your mask. But just making sure that you are involving yourself with things that make you happy and make you comfortable and make you feel good and keep you warm and fuzzy. And this is a fun time for Pisces. So if you have kids or you work with kids or you like to do kitty things, just have fun, Pisces. Get out your house. You know, even if you are at home, have a game, have a very small, intimate game night. Just doing things that make you feel good is what makes you more productive. So like Aquarius, there's not a lot that you need to do right now except for just lighten up. You know, don't take your goals so seriously. If you're a creative, don't take your creation so seriously. Explore, experiment, really get in touch with your inner self. This is a heart-opening time for you. So you actually might realize that like you want to help people in very creative ways, and you would like to use your creativity as a means to inspire, as a means to nurture, as a means to care for people. You want to share more of your heart, Pisces. You just need to do it in a way that feels safe and not overgive. And because Capricorn is hitting up your 11th house, you might have friends who might need you more, or you might be thinking about friends and you're like, this situation is kind of toxic. I don't really know if I want to be around this energy. So just be mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with, especially in July. Okay, guys, I love you. Remember, if you want the full reading, I'll be uploading a full Cancer season video reading for members very soon. So if you want to, you can become a member. Peace, guys. I love you.